So on the show today, I speak to Melanie Coeshott from BlueDiamondCoach.com. I find it really interesting because, like me, she used to be an accountant and it wasn't really satisfying her. So she was looking for ways out of that career, and then she discovered coaching. So it's a very interesting talk. We talk about her story, her services, and how she markets herself. And I also discovered something. I learnt about this new software. She talks about that she uses to analyze all the data from LinkedIn, and also how to use hashtags. And I actually learned a lot from her during this show. And I'm going to actually, after the show, after I stopped talking to her, the first thing I did was to buy this software and start using it, and see how my LinkedIn posts were doing. And I'm sure that my engagement is going to go up as a result, which is great. Anyway, without further ado, let's go on with the show. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So, welcome to my show. So the idea behind the show is that I have guests on, and then they talk about, well, three different things really. One is the story, how they got to be where they are, where you are now, and also what products or services you offer. And then we just sort of start to look at your internet sites, social media sites, and just start a discussion about marketing.
Great.
So would you like to sort of give your story, how you got to be where you are now?
Yeah. So I'm Melanie Coeshott. My business is Blue Diamond, and I'm a career coach. And interestingly, I haven't always been a career coach. I was an accountant for 22 years.
I was an accountant too, yeah.
We get everywhere, don't we?
I know, yeah.
And although I really enjoyed that for a good number of years, about 4 years ago, I suddenly got that "is this it" kind of question in my head. And actually it was prompted when I was headhunted by somebody else. So that was, to cut a long story short, I didn't get that job, but it just kind of shook up everything and made me question whether I was happy. And up until that point, I thought I was happy and I was really just content. And that just wasn't good enough anymore. I'm so passionate about so many things in life, and I'd kind of lost my passion in my work, and I hadn't realized it. So I did quite a bit of soul searching. I actually became a coach during that time, and I was doing a lot of internal coaching where I was working. So I was a financial controller, and I spent a lot of my time and my energy kind of developing myself, my team, and coaching my team, and then the wider organization. And I was loving that so much, I thought, actually, I would quite like to be doing more of this. So I set up my own business, Blue Diamond, a couple of years ago. I was still working full time at that point. So I was juggling working with my clients, building up my business, and, performing that full-time job as well. And then I eventually took the plunge and left my nice, comfortable accountancy job at the end of last July. Had a lovely summer off with my kids, and then from September I've been working full-time in my business.
Okay.
And people ask me a lot about, well, why the change from accountancy into, or financial services as well, into being a coach. And for me, I was approximately halfway through my working life. I'd have had a successful and fulfilling first half of my career, and actually this is just about the next chapter. So yeah, I could have left it, I could have sat there, I could have actually put up with it, but it's about me then writing my next chapter and then helping other people to do the same.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways your story parallels mine, because I was an accountant for about 20 years, and it was the parts I enjoyed, but I think over that 20 years, I think I grew as a person, I developed as a person, and I became a lot more interested in communicating with people and helping people. And then that really, I realized that was what was sort of really satisfying. And well, when you're an accountant, you're just sort of in your own little department. And also you're not really influential in the business side of things. You're just sort of producing accounts and controlling other people who are doing their little bit in the sort of in their little cogwheel in the vast sort of scheme of things. So, you know, those people are needed, but I realised that, yeah, my passion was to sort of help people, I suppose. And I started to look out for other careers, actually. Like I looked at social work and teaching, but I realised it would just involve a sort of massive drop in salary to do that. So I actually ended up starting a sort of web design business and then starting into internet marketing and stuff like that, which,
Right.
although, I mean, you're sort of, I'm not helping people as directly as being a coach, but I am, you know, having a client, for example, and then finding out what they want and trying to, you know, help create that for them. So you need to have a lot of those elements in it.
Yeah, having that positive impact on people.
Yeah, and I do find life so much more satisfying now. It's because I think it's when I had my job, it was, yeah, I never looked forward to it. I always thought, oh, it's Monday morning, and then I realised that my whole life was something I didn't really like. It just takes up so much of your life if you have a job. It's so important to find something that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, and that's much more important actually than making as much money as possible.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, how do you get, I noticed you've got the blue diamond appearing on your shoulder. Is that actually written on your backdrop or something?
No, that's through Ecamm Live.
Oh, you use Ecamm Live?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So although we're both on Zoom, I've also got Ecamm Live on, which is my branding. Yeah.
Oh, so you have Ecamm Live on and Zoom?
Yeah.
So you're filming it through Ecamm Live and then that sends it to Zoom? Is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah. So it's Ecamm Live comes through as one of my camera options on Zoom. So I just make sure I've selected that, and that's
right.
Shows my logo.
Very cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really weird because I've heard about Ecamm Live for the first time yesterday.
Oh wow.
I don't know, have you heard of Russell Brunson?
No.
He's got a podcast. He developed software called ClickFunnels, and he's got a podcast, Marketing Secrets. And I was listening to that on my bike ride yesterday, and he said he that's how he creates his info products. He uses Ecamm Live. So he said it's really amazing software. I thought, oh, that's great. And then I sort of Googled it, and I found it's only for Mac, because I've got a PC. So.
Yeah, there's an equivalent called OBS.
OBS, yes, I have seen that mentioned when I was searching yesterday, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I'll check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's normally for streaming and things, but yeah, I just have it on in the background just because of the branding and some of the other labels that I can put up.
That's right. Yes. Well, I actually, because I had no idea how you would do that other than actually paint it on or your wall or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. So that's your sort of journey, how you got to be a coach. And did you do sort of training, coach training?
Yeah, so I embarked on a number of different training courses. So I guess with my professional background as an accountant, qualifications and training and learning is something that's very important to me.
Right.
So there are coaches that are not qualified, and there is also, lots of different types of qualifications you can get. I am a qualified coach. I have a diploma in coaching, but I've also got one in corporate and executive coaching, which encompasses the career coaching elements of what I do. I'm an NLP practitioner and a small business coach as well. So I've got all of those different qualifications and all of the different tools and techniques that come with them. So I actually weave all of those into all of my coaching depending on the needs of the clients.
Okay, sounds interesting. Now, you mentioned small business coach. I don't think I've heard of that before. What's that?
So small businesses, entrepreneurs or solopreneurs or just small businesses before they've, I guess, grown into something more substantial. I can coach those business owners.
And then that's a special training and qualification.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sounds very interesting. So so let's have a look. So I'll just share my screen and we'll have a look at your internet presence. There we go. Let's go wait a second, it's a bit sluggish. So that's your LinkedIn page where we actually met This is your website, Blue Diamond. And the name, I think, well, I have seen hotels called Blue Diamond. Is there a special type of diamond? Because diamonds are clear, aren't they?
Yes, well, they are clear, but you can get blue diamonds, and they're a
Right.
particularly kind of rare and valuable kind of diamonds.
Yeah.
I love the colour blue. I
Yes.
won't lie.
You can see it
um,
in your branding. And, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, I just liked the name. I like the concept of having something blue and striking and useful. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So, oh, I see. And you had, obviously, bluediamond.com was already gone, so you got bluediamondcoach.com,
yeah,
which is a pretty good way
yeah,
of doing it, really. Um, and then I clicked on some of these, like Let's Work Together, and then that goes to a page which is goes to your career coach page, and then again it's got Let's Work Together, and then that goes to get in touch, and then you ask people to book a slot directly on a calendar or to email you, phone you, and then you just mention you can provide services anywhere.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's great. And also, in addition to that, you do these workshops,
yeah,
which are do a whole load of them, and you can book one for £20, which is like a 2 hour session, or you can book, there are reductions if you book in bulk.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And these workshops, they're in different areas: assertiveness, confidence, dealing with overwhelm, etc. Do something different.
yeah.
Okay. And then you've also so that's your website, and then you've got these three icons. We already looked at LinkedIn, so you've got Facebook. Then you've got a group as well with 121 members.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens in your group that doesn't happen on your main webpage?
Well, probably not that different at this point in time.
Mm.
Now, sometimes I put some different questions in there where I'm, pondering over doing something or giving somebody, saying that I'm going to be launching something, and it gives them a bit more of a head start in terms of getting in on something. But I guess I'm not using it in the traditional kind of community group
No.
way, not yet. Now, people that I invite to the group are people that I've worked with personally. So either they've been clients of mine, one-to-one coaching clients, or they've come to my workshops, rather than, so I guess it's more exclusive in that way, compared to the page where anybody can kind of like and follow that one.
That's great then. So all these people have worked with you in
Yeah,
some way before.
yeah,
So because I'm just looking into doing Facebook Lives. That's one thing I'm going to start. This was my next thing I'm going to do, I think, for
yeah,
me to enhance my brand. And I know that with Facebook Lives, you can either do it to a private profile, you can do it to a business page, or you can do it to a group you're in. So,
yeah,
and that'd be, I think, one of the motivations for me to build a group. So I can just start streaming into a group, and I know that everyone is there because I've invited them, and they're all people who want to find out more from me and so on.
yeah. And so the OBS tool would be useful for you to do that, because then
Yes.
you can stream with your branding and things into that.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah.
So on your these posts, you mentioned about proactive and reactive. Yeah, very true. What's the one thing I can do right now? So it's like little snippets of little questions, and then little teachings, I suppose,
Yeah.
and then a call to action at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then meme type images. You really stuck as you feel, and then you have these interviews. Like,
Yeah.
yes, now, and the split screen. How do you? That's some. No, that was just a photo, presumably, but that's something you did
So
for
that's
Ecamm
that's a
Live, is it?
photo, but that's what I do for Ecamm Live. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've done most of my interviews through Skype, because then Ecamm allows you to set up the split screen and everything ahead of.
Yes. Although, of course, you can do that in Zoom as well with gallery view. I think you're breaking up, or
You're looking at the
I,
screen at the moment. Well, you were looking at the shared screen, but sometimes I've done it so that we're looking at the screen like that, and actually the video comes out like it's just on the speaker. So it's yeah, my success has been better with Skype and Ecamm versus just
Okay,
YouTube, just Zoom.
that's interesting. And have you ever done any Facebook Lives?
Yeah, I do quite a lot.
Oh,
Well,
really?
I say I do quite a lot. I've not done any for a while, but
No.
yeah, typically I either do them on my personal page or I do them on my Blue Diamond page. I've not done so many in my group, I must admit, but maybe that's an idea for those people that I have worked with, so giving them that
So
specific
if I
message.
scroll down, will I find?
Yeah, if you go into videos, so on the left-hand side, if you look in videos, you should see a number of different lives that I've done.
Oh, these are your lives. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, but you obviously don't find them particularly useful if you haven't done, or do you?
I don't find them. I mean, I do them to get some kind of presence out there. I mean,
Yeah.
truth be told, Facebook really isn't my platform.
Oh, what's your
So
platform?
LinkedIn.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you use to just sort of message people.
Yeah, I use. I mean, I use Facebook just to have a presence
Yes.
on there. I have tried some ads. I've tried different things on Facebook. My success rate has not been very good, I must admit.
No.
LinkedIn, however, I've got 5,000 connections. I post on there daily. I get between 1,000 and 2,000 views of each post that I do.
Wow.
I get a lot of engagement. I get people contacting me, just out of the blue on there. So LinkedIn, because of what I do in terms of career coaching, it seems to be where people can find me better.
Yes. I like that post.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I to be honest, I find LinkedIn really good as well. I've got 15,000 connections, and once you have a lot of connections, it just becomes yeah, very, very powerful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So in this sort of B2B world that we're in,
Yeah.
and but okay, just to shall I show you, and we've also got an Instagram thing, which I
I
suppose you're
have.
not
I
really
have.
very active on.
But yeah, no. So I launched something at the beginning of the lockdown, which was my Finding Nemo campaign, which
Right.
is partly for me, but partly
Yeah.
to inspire others as well. And so every day between, I guess, what, the 12th, 13th of March and the end of May, I posted things that I was finding Nemo every day. So
Yeah.
something normal, something extraordinary, something for others, something for myself. And it was good because it kind of kept me going, kept me
Yeah.
focused. And I just thought actually it's an opportunity to kickstart on Instagram, which is a
Yes.
platform that I really haven't used
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I don't really know what I'm doing on Instagram, and I didn't find it particularly fun or fulfilling or,
Yeah.
or anything. So, it's not to say that I'm done with Instagram, but my focus really is LinkedIn for
Sure.
now.
No, I think Instagram is amazing for certain markets, but yeah, for what we're doing, I don't think it's. I mean, the thing is, it's a lot of extra work because it's a different format from the others. You can't just post a video and
Yeah,
stuff like that, so you have to think of a different way, and it just takes up so much time to really.
yeah,
Um, if you're doing all the other stuff as well, so. I had a similar experience to you. I've got an account and I started posting stuff, but I don't really bother with it
hmm,
anymore because it's like the 80-20 rule. You focus on what brings you the most things.
yeah.
So I just wanted to show you a bit what I'm doing as well. That might give you some ideas. So this is. Do you know about Facebook audiences?
Yeah,
So custom audiences. So
yeah,
you know about sort of retargeting. You can retarget an audience. So
yeah.
based on their activities. So for example, I've got 1,200 people who've watched 95% or more of at least one of my videos.
Okay,
And I've got 2,500 who watch 50%, 4,200 who watch 25%, and then through plays, which is when they've watched 15 seconds, I've actually got 17,000
Oh wow.
people who've watched that. So, and it's very easy to set up. You just go into your, this is facebook.com, create audience, custom audience, and then you can select from then. You can select which videos you want. So this is all videos, but if there was a certain video in a certain subject, I could just retarget those people. So I think this is what makes Facebook amazing, when you start to build up these audiences and then you can retarget. And I know when I'm going to start doing Facebook Lives, I'm going to do them as a Facebook event, and then I'm going to promote that event to people in my 95% video views market, so they're already quite engaged. And you know, this is a real, I consider this as like a business asset, having this, you know, equivalent to an email list, and in fact probably more. I think it's more useful than an email list, because if someone sign up for your to your email just to get, you know, a blueprint or something, and then we get bombarded with so many emails, we just, it's information overload. But these people like my videos, so they like hearing me talk, so they're exactly the sort of person that's more likely to you know, become a client or buy my stuff. So, and so the way I got those was to social media. So that's my website. So this is my Facebook page. So I just did loads of, I went to my kitchen basically, and I filmed lots of 5-minute videos on my iPhone. And then I did subtitles. I used Camtasia to edit out the bits at the beginning and the end and so on. And then I boosted them. And like a lot of these, I spent say £10 each on boosting. This one I boosted with £100 just as an experiment, but then I did get 26,000 views on that and 85 likes, which is, and then I think these videos are the main things that help me create my audience. And you can see this is an example of an advertising campaign I did, and you can see that when I split test 4 different audiences, and when I send the ads to the 95% video views audience, the cost per click is 17 pence compared with 32 pence, you know, for people who have watched 50%. So it's basically halved my cost of advertising. So it's really fascinating once you start doing this thing. And so also what I do is so I've got 2 campaigns going all the time. One is when I do my videos, I do the whole lot just to a cold audience, people, for example, like Tony Robbins or Robert Kiyosaki. But have no contact with me. And then after that, I retarget through plays. So, for instance, I spent £68 retargeting people who've watched 15 seconds, and hopefully some of them will go on to then watch 95%, and then they reach this audience, and then this is going on every day, where, you know, so I just show them I've got all my videos there, and I just show them my videos. So that's basically what I do, and it's just a way of building up the audience, and then I can retarget those with other things. Because I think Facebook is a pay-to-play thing. I think if you just do a Facebook post, it doesn't get seen very much. So I think you do have to boost it as well. But I think it's got vast scope to reach people. I mean, obviously, if you're doing really well on LinkedIn anyway, you might not need to do Facebook as well. But but what I like about my strategy is that, how did I get, okay, so I was just wondering why my website wasn't there. So if you do one video, you can repurpose it and post it on multiple platforms, like, you know, Facebook. So I do mine to Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, blog. Some of them I strip out the audio and put on my podcast and so on. So that's already 5 different places I use the same content for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
All right. So is there is there anything else I think to say before we sort of close down this this discussion?
I don't know if you've got more questions for me. So, I mean, I've recently started a YouTube
Oh,
channel
have
as
you?
well.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you don't link to that on your.
No, I know. And actually, I've just written an email this morning to the guy that works on my website for me, asking how to integrate that as well, really. So
Oh,
I do
okay.
have a few links on my website with some of the leadership interviews that I've done, linking to my stuff. But yeah, I've this was, I guess, a bit of a hobby that I've started up during the lockdown, and
Subscribe to it. There you
thank you.
go.
So yeah, I'm just learning, experimenting, and actually it's great because it's been building up my confidence, getting in front of the camera,
Yes.
playing
And
around with some of the topics. You know, these are some of the topics that I
it
like.
is interesting what you say about confidence, because I think that just stopped so many people, and it stopped me for so many years.
Yeah,
And I remember the first videos I used to do, I was really rubbish at, and I used to basically I used to memorize. I used to have this thing in front of the like bit of paper with it written down underneath my camera, and I tried to sort of read that out. Was one way of doing it. The other way was trying to memorize it. So I'd memorize like 2 sentences and then do that, and then memorize the next 2 sentences. So I
yeah,
started to do like that, and then I realized really you just have to speak off the cuff. And I went to Toastmasters actually, which really helped me with
okay,
confidence
yeah,
in public speaking, because
yeah,
I used to be I used to be rubbish at anything like that, and I used to always try and avoid it if I could. And I think that really holds people back. So
absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
really important for people to find their voice, and the only real way of doing it is to just do it.
Just doing it, watching
Yeah,
yourself back,
yeah,
being kind of quite objective when you're watching
yeah,
yourself back, and
yeah.
yeah, there's always scope for improvement. But I guess, yeah, pressing the button, you know, going through, if you get it wrong, start again, don't stop, you know, just keep going, and you can always edit stuff afterwards. So
Yeah, and also I really like this format of just having a conversation with someone,
yeah,
because it's just you know it's great. We've been talking for half an hour, and I haven't prepared anything. It's just like having a conversation. It's just so
conversation,
easy. And now we've got half an hour of content, and also
yeah,
you know I've learned some things about Ecamm Live, and you know I'm sure anyone watching this has sort of got a few ideas as well. So
yeah,
and it's quite and it's also much more is sort of much more energetic. You know, if I talked for half an hour, I think I'd probably run out of steam a bit by the end of it. But it's
mhm,
all quite energizing to sort of have
yeah.
someone to talk to as well. So, and
I
that's why I
think,
also want to get into just talking to groups of people as well, which is why
yeah,
I want to start doing the Facebook lives and maybe you know then doing bigger Zoom groups and stuff like that.
yeah. So you're saying, you know, obviously you spend a lot of time kind of looking at the Facebook ad manager and creating the
Yes.
audience and all that. What analysis do you do in terms of LinkedIn? So you've got 11,000 contacts. I've seen that you're in Sales Navigator. Do you use,
Yes.
you know, any particular reports in there or any other tools? Because I've discovered something myself recently, and it's great. I'm happy to share that with you.
Share that with me. Go on.
So it's called Shield Analytics. If you want to share your screen with me, I can, or let me share my screen. That's what I mean.
Oh, so I stopped my.
Yeah.
Yes. Go on. Yeah. Go on.
Now, I will need to go and put this onto Chrome because it doesn't work on Explorer. So 2 seconds. So this is just something I discovered literally about 3 weeks ago. I'd
Okay.
seen somebody put a post on it on LinkedIn,
Okay.
and um, And it's basically an analytical tool which allows you to basically just plucks all of your data real time, and it allows you to see how your posts are doing. So right, I'll share my screen now because I'm in. Oh, it says host disabled.
Oh, how to, maybe if I make you a
co-host or a host or something.
Oh, I'll make you a co-host. Does that work now?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You see my
Yeah,
screen?
your
It says
screen, yeah.
your workspaces. Okay, so I have this set up just as a single user. For people that manage other people's accounts as well, you can have that. So this then goes into my LinkedIn account live. I can look over the last week, the last month, whatever. Let's look at the last 4 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's a comparative. So there's a few different things. There's reports, and then there's content overview. So
Yes.
the report is more like a dashboard. It shows you, so because I've put in 4 weeks here, it's taking the last 4 weeks and then the 4 weeks prior to that as a comparative point. So I can see that, you know, the posts that I've had, so I've done 19 posts versus 21 over the same period, probably just how the weekends feel or whatever.
Yeah.
I've had 35,000 views versus 30,000 views. So actually the amount of views has gone up.
Yeah.
So who knows at this point, is that something I've done or is that something to do with the LinkedIn algorithms? A number of comments has gone up, so 45%, which is awesome. Engagement rate, fairly similar, but pretty good. Likes, shares, etc. So what's good is then it's got a little graph here. I can then focus on, okay, so what was this post here? I can actually go into that post from here.
That is very useful, isn't it? Because
yes.
I've done so many posts now on LinkedIn, and I know that some do quite well, but it's only the only way of finding it out is to keep on looking at my posts and seeing, looking at the numbers, and then it's just so full up with all my posts. It's hard to keep track. So this is very useful.
So this is still on the content overview page, but it's then down into the detail. I know which post it is. It's actually a video that I put in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a number of different likes. And then I can actually just go straight in and see it on LinkedIn. So if I press this, it opens another tab. Oh yeah, it's that one there. And oh yeah, it's the first one that I did of that series. Okay, that's useful. It can also show you your time scale. So when did people start kind of looking at it?
Right.
Your Facebook timings as well.
Now, why are there 4 different? Go back to that graph. Why are there 4 different lines there?
The views, likes, comments, and shares.
Oh, okay. And what's this? Now, why did that one suddenly? Why did they go up at the beginning and then that
so
one?
I think typically it's that going up at the beginning, but this is just some people that had happened to share my posts. So I don't know, that could have been just, I mean, it's weird because it was like a couple of days later, wasn't it? Maybe maybe it's just somebody had cottoned onto the series that I've done. It could have been actually that's when I posted my blog on it, so more people, I don't know, but that's a good question.
Yes. Okay.
So the other view here then is the content. What's this one called? Content overview.
Yeah.
So again, you can pick a time scale. So you know, let's pick the same time scale, or let's pick since year to date, because that's quite interesting.
Yes.
So what it then grabs is all of my content year to date in this table, and then I can sort it by the number of views. So that's least to most. So my most viewed posts back on the 5th of February, I know it's got a photo.
Yeah.
I know I've got 3 hashtags. You know, these are the hashtags I've got. You know, in terms of the graph, thing. you know, so I've got all of this data literally at my fingertips.
Does
So
it
if I
tell
want to
you,
just say,
is there any way of finding out how much traffic comes from the hashtags?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because I never know whether to bother with the hashtags or not, because I don't know
Yeah,
how many people are searching for hashtags on.
yeah, I don't know.
No.
But you can probably rummage around in here. There might be other reports you can.
So it's one way of doing it. You could publish it without hashtags, and then you could add
Yeah,
hashtags after like a couple of days and know to see if it gives you a boost.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've heard that 3 hashtags are the right number.
Okay.
I know which ones I like because they've got lots of people following them. So that works for me.
Ah. Does that, is that, so when you do a LinkedIn post, does it tell you how many people, how do you find out how many people are following each hashtag?
Okay, so let me stop sharing this.
It's great to talk to another ex-accountant because we're all into like numbers and data.
Yeah. So how to find them? I mean, you have to do a bit of homework. So for
Okay.
example, careers. That's one of the ones I use. Obviously, I'm a career coach.
Wow. Because I
Um,
would have thought that would be too competitive. But
so it's different. So this isn't like Instagram. So
uh,
actually, these are people following it, not
yeah.
people that are necessarily using the hashtag. And with LinkedIn, there's a lot more people reviewing and consuming information rather than providing it, creating it. So
Yes.
you know, this one here is a good one. Obviously,
I
you know.
can't see.
Oh, you can't see it. Sorry.
Okay. So how did you get into that?
So I literally just typed it in up here.
So
So
it's just trial and error. So if there's a hashtag you're thinking of using, you just type it in
yeah,
there and see what.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so this one is careers. I did, which was 22 million. If I do
Wow.
career, 4,400. Sorry, 446,000. Okay, well that's pretty good, but it's not 22 million. I'll go
Yeah.
with careers for 22 million. So, and it's just, you know, these are the number of followers. So if you're happen to be following that, so I'm following this, so I'm going to get those kind of things in my
So
post.
22 million people have gone to a page where it says hashtag careers and they've clicked the
Yeah,
follow button. Really?
yeah,
I had no idea people did stuff like that on LinkedIn.
yeah, yeah.
And so there's no actual page with tags, or is there a page with lots of different tags you can choose from where you can browse tags? You literally just have to type them in like that, do you?
Yeah, yeah. So the fact that I've put this in here,
Yeah,
all of these ones below will have that hashtag career,
yeah.
or careers, whichever one, careers 22 million. So yeah, you'll probably see some of mine in here at some point. And I guess, I don't know if these are the trending ones or if these are just the last ones or whatever, but yeah, you know, I get the notification that sometimes I'm trending in these things. So, but yeah,
Oh, really? You get the notifications from who? LinkedIn?
from
Or
LinkedIn.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, LinkedIn definitely um, is how I work. So yeah,
That sounds great. And also, presumably, because you've already got a large following on LinkedIn, that means that in combination with a hashtag strategy, it just gives it a real boost. It makes
yeah,
doing both together
yeah,
gives you a lot more than if you just followed one.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. If you
absolutely.
didn't have any following and you tried the hashtag strategy, you wouldn't really do very well because you'd still be quite low down. But because
Yeah,
you're
yeah. I think
following, it's worth.
I think
Yeah.
if you know, if you're in groups and you've got um, yeah, I guess I don't know if it works that if you use the hashtag and it's not one that you're following, it doesn't work. I don't
So
know.
that could be one of the things in its algorithm. We just don't know
Yeah,
how it works. But all you really can find out from that is the number of people following the hashtag.
yeah,
Can't find out how much content is produced because I like to, normally with stuff like that, I like to divide one by the other to get, maximum demand with minimum supply.
yeah.
But you can't really do that.
I don't mind. you know,
Yeah.
yeah, I think in terms of getting reports out of LinkedIn, I think
Yeah.
it's quite difficult, which is why things like Shield have
Yes.
sprung up. But yeah,
That's a
as an
great tip.
analytical tool for a prior analytical person, Shield
Yeah.
is really useful.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant. No, I think it is really useful, and also having, because I do similar things on, well, on Facebook. I think it's so great to be data driven, to
Mm-hmm.
know, to find out what people are interested in, and I can do that on Facebook. But I think, seeing as I do have so many followers on LinkedIn, I think I definitely ought to spend some time doing the same thing on LinkedIn, and giving, producing more content that people like and they consume.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing, hashtags, and then that could lead to much more engagement. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
And how did you build up your 15,000 connections? That's, I
Just
mean,
inviting,
inviting people. Yeah.
well, just asking lots of people to be my friend, to
Yeah.
connect
Yeah.
with people, and especially, um, I found out that people are more likely to say yes if they're in the UK. I just start to try and break into the American market, but
Yeah.
I got more, people are more likely if they're in the UK, and also if they're in my tier 2
Mm-hmm.
network, and also I try and do people who are owners of businesses, CEOs, and so on, or marketing directors. They're the people I connect with. I just ask to connect with them, and my first initial connection request is there's no spammy sort of call to action. It's just, would you like to be my friend, sort of thing. As probably, if you look, you can see what message I sent you, but yeah, and then just continually just keep on doing that. And then at some point I might send a follow up. If, like, inviting you to be on this show, I think was a follow up message I sent to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
Well, it's been great, great talking to you, and I've certainly learnt a lot. And hopefully at some point in the future we'll come back on a show, and we'll say, oh, I've discovered all these sort of new amazing things, and my business has grown, to this level.
Yeah.
It'd be really sort of interesting to have you back at that point.
Oh, cool.
That's great. That's been great chatting to you. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and week,
Yeah.
etc. All
Thank
right then.
you. You too. All
See you
right. Take
soon.
care. Bye.
Bye.